Unit 6. Since when? Unit 6, pages 46 and 47. Look and listen.
Since when? Many inventions aren't as old as you think. The following inventions are part of people's everyday lives, but they haven't been around for all that long of a time. Read about their history. Does any of the information surprise you?
Have you listened to the news on the radio recently? Have you talked on your cell phone? At the beginning of the 20th century, many people didn't believe that electromagnetic waves traveled through the air. Guglielmo Marconi proved them wrong. On December 12, 1901, Marconi tied several antennas to kites. He sent a signal, the letter S, in Morse code across the Atlantic Ocean, about 2,175 miles, 3,500 kilometers away. The signal traveled from Paldue in Cornwall, England, to St. John's, Newfoundland. Since then, the use of waves for communication has been part of people's everyday life in radio, television, and recently in cell phones.
Have you looked in the refrigerator recently? People have tried to keep cool or cool their food for ages. The Chinese invented ice cream 4,000 years ago, and they used to keep it in snow in underground chambers. In Baghdad in the 8th century, a king used to import snow and put it between the walls of his summer home. The snow cooled the home. In 1834, Jacob Perkins, an American in London, invented a machine to make ice. The first home refrigerators appeared in the early 1920s, and today almost every home has one. In the 21st century, we can't live without it. The average American visits the refrigerator about 45 times a day.
Have you seen any good programs on TV lately? Did you ever think of life without television? Well, it hasn't been around for that many years. In fact, the development of black and white television began in 1926 when John Logie Baird gave the first demonstration of a television image in London. But those early pictures were bad. Then Philo Farnsworth got the idea to use a tube with spots of lights for TV pictures. And about the same time, Vladimir Zworykin invented a good television camera. The U.S. company RCA used these improvements and opened an experimental TV station in 1930. However, the golden era of television didn't begin until the late 1940s. By 1949, there were over 100 stations on the air in the United States. Since that time, television has become an important part of everyday life for people around the world.
How long have you worn your watch? Throughout history, people have kept time. The Egyptian sun clock, the Roman and Greek water clocks, the sand clock, the mechanical clocks in public places and squares, and the grandfather clock in people's homes. The pocket watch appeared in Germany about 1500, but it was only around 1910 that the Brazilian aviator Alberto Santos Dumont created the first wristwatch. He needed to check flying time, but he also needed to keep his hands on the controls of his plane, so he wasn't able to take his watch out of his pocket. As they say, necessity is the mother of invention. He put a watch around his wrist. The jewelry maker Cartier used Dumont's idea, and since then, people have worn wristwatches of all colors, shapes, and sizes.
Unit 6, page 47. Part 2. Pair work. A. Ask and answer about the facts in the article.
How long have people worn wristwatches?
They've worn them for nearly 100 years.
B. Ask about things you've done recently.
Have you seen anything good on TV lately?
Yes, I have. I saw an exciting movie on TV last night.
C. Ask and answer about yourself.
How long have you used a computer?
I've used a computer since I was 3 years old.
Do you have a car?
Yes, I do.
How long have you had it?
I've had it for about a year.
Unit 6, page 50. Part 5. Listening. A. Listen to the conversation. Arlie meets Jack and Mary in the park. Listen for the overall situation. Answer the questions.
Hi, Jack. You're looking good. Do you work out every day?
Yes, Mary and I have changed our lifestyle completely.
Since Jack had his heart problem, we've walked every morning. We've eaten healthier food. We haven't stayed out late at night the way we used to. And we've stopped smoking. We've tried to have a healthier lifestyle.
And are you still working in the airport control tower? It's been 3 years since I worked there with you.
No, I've had a new job for 6 months. I'm training air traffic controllers. It's less stressful, and I have more time off. What about you?
Well, I got married. I've been married for almost a year. My wife and I like to cook, and I've gotten a desk job, so I've gained a lot of weight. That's why I've started to exercise.
B. Listen again. Answer the questions.
Hi, Jack. You're looking good. Do you work out every day?
Yes, Mary and I have changed our lifestyle completely.
Since Jack had his heart problem, we've walked every morning. We've eaten healthier food. We haven't stayed out late at night the way we used to. And we've stopped smoking. We've tried to have a healthier lifestyle.
And are you still working in the airport control tower? It's been 3 years since I worked there with you.
No, I've had a new job for 6 months. I'm training air traffic controllers. It's less stressful, and I have more time off. What about you?
Well, I got married. I've been married for almost a year. My wife and I like to cook, and I've gotten a desk job, so I've gained a lot of weight. That's why I've started to exercise.
Unit 6, page 50, Part 6. Pronunciation. Listen and practice. Note the contraction of how plus have, where plus have, and what plus have.
How have you been? Where have you been? What have you done?
Unit 6, page 51, Part 8. Conversation.
Hi, Laura.
Hello, Justin. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you. You look so different.
Yeah. Well, we haven't seen each other for about 3 years.
You've changed so much.
Well, you haven't. You're still the same.
How long have you had that haircut?
For about a year. Do you like it?
Yes, it gives you a young look. How long have you worn that earring?
You mean my pierced ear? I've had it since I've been in art school.
You're going to art school now?
Yes. And I'm also learning to play the bagpipes.
I was going to ask you about that. But tell me, Justin, why the big change?
I guess I met the right person.
Unit 6, page 52, Part 10. Reading. The Magic of Movies.
Since December 28, 1895, there have been movie audiences. That day, the Lumiere brothers showed short films in a cafe in Paris. The audience screamed when a train on the film came right toward them. Since then, filmmakers have used various techniques to amaze audiences. These techniques form the art of special effects and create the magic of the movies. One of the first geniuses of special effects was also a Frenchman, Georges Méliès. In 1899, he made a movie called The Conjurer. In it, he disappeared, and then his female assistant disappeared. How was this possible? Early movie makers stopped the camera and then started it again. In between time, the person or object or scene in front of the camera changed. For example, In one of his early films, the inventor Thomas Edison substituted a dummy for the actress in a film about Mary, Queen of Scots. The dummy's head was chopped off to show the Queen's death. When audiences saw the scene, they gasped in horror. Since then, filmmakers have used techniques like this to make people see things that didn't happen in real life in front of the camera. Movie makers today still use another old technique: small models for large objects. One of the most famous special effects in movie history was King Kong in a 1933 film. The huge gorilla scared audiences when he climbed the Empire State Building. But the real King Kong was a model and was actually only 18 inches high. The movie makers used the stop-motion technique. Workers put the model of the gorilla in one position and took a picture. Then they moved it a tiny bit and took another picture. For 1 second on the screen, there were 24 pictures of Kong. Recently, computers have become important in special effects. In 1996, the movie Toy Story was the first movie made entirely of computer-generated images and characters. Over 800,000 hours of computer time went into the final film. The recent series of Star Wars films has made extensive use of digital computer images. In fact, in some scenes, 95% of the screen contained images made by computers. And the director George Lucas even took facial expressions of the actors on film and mixed them together in different ways with a computer. The art of filmmaking never stops. What magical effects will movie makers use in the future? You'll see them at the movies.
End of Unit 6. Expansion 2. Reading. Page 54. Part 1. Adventure Trips.
Skydiving. Have you ever dreamed of flying? Sky High gives you the wildest experience. You feel that you are flying in the air, high above the earth. We offer you the most sophisticated safety equipment and longest freefall time. We fly you up to 12,000 feet, 3,650 meters in a plane. From that height, you have 40 seconds falling time at 120 miles, 193 kilometers an hour before you need to open your parachute. Place, 1 hour from Denver, Colorado. Price, $200, includes briefing, equipment, and instructor. Full course, $1,300.
Cross-country bike rides. Let us plan your route for you. We'll find a trail you'll never forget. Let one of our vans carry your bike and equipment to your starting point. The following is one of the most popular trails. Route: from Astoria, Oregon to Yorktown, Ontario. Description: a 4,500-mile, 7,240-kilometer ride, the most challenging of all tours. Strong, fit riders do it in 2 months. Price: $7,000, including food and accommodations.
Whitewater rafting. This is the safest ride there is, even for beginners. If you've never been on a raft, this is your chance. Have an exciting ride on the rapidly moving waters. We'll take good care of you. Just don't bring anything with you that can't get wet. Colorado River through the Grand Canyon. Length, 5 days. Cost, $1,500. Description: 60-mile trip over medium difficult rapids. Good trout fishing.
Read what our customers have to say about their experiences. Victor Castro. I've never been so scared in my life. I've been on the school diving team since I was 10, but this was different. There was no pool at the bottom. I closed my eyes and jumped. When I opened them again, I felt the strangest sensation of fear and exhilaration. I saw the ground getting closer and closer. I could hear and feel the winds around me. I pulled the cord, and I felt a strong jerk. Suddenly I was calm again, and I watched the beautiful view below as I floated toward the ground. Ray Collins.
I've ridden cross-country for several years, and every time I get on my bike, it's a new experience. I just love to feel the cool breeze on my face when I go downhill. I can see the beautiful landscape, smell the flowers, and be in contact with nature. It's much nicer than when you were inside a car or are hearing the noise of a motorcycle engine. Going uphill can be tiring sometimes, and you need to be fit, but it's really worth the effort.
Amanda Robbins.
I can't swim, so at first I was really scared. But then I got used to going up and down. I've gone to amusement parks since I was a kid. It's just like being on the roller coaster, with many more bumps and at shorter intervals. Then come the spins and the shakes again. You hear the sound of the boat hitting the water. You can see the water splashing up inside the boat and see the land along the sides of the river quickly passing by. You hold on tight and hope for the best. The greatest feeling is when the spray hits your face as you roll down the river.
The program continues on the next CD.